My father pretended he didn't know me in public until his biggest client introduced me as his boss. So my dad left when I was 15. No big fight or anything. He just packed his stuff one Wednesday while I was at school and was gone by the time I got home. My mom picked up a second job, and I started bussing tables at a diner on weekends to help with rent. We never heard from him again. No calls, no birthday cards, nothing. I found out through my cousin years later that he moved about 40 minutes away, started a new life, and had 2 more kids. That stung, but I got through it. I put myself through school, got a degree in business operations, and spent 6 years working my way up at a commercial equipment company. By 28, I was the regional procurement manager. I approved every vendor contract in our area and had 12 people under me. I earned all of it. Then about 6 months ago, I ran into my dad at a grocery store. I was in the produce section, and he was right there by the apples. I knew it was him the second I saw him. He looked older, but he had the same walk and the same way he tilted his head when he was reading something. I stopped because I did not know what to do. He looked up. Direct eye contact. He held it for 2 full seconds. Then he looked away, grabbed a bag of apples, and pushed his cart right past me like I was just another person in the aisle. His cart almost touched mine. I stood there waiting for a nod or a wave or even a fake smile. Nothing. He just left. I sat in my car for a while after that. Told my mom that night, and she shook her head and said that tracks. I tried to let it go. 3 weeks later, I had a meeting with one of our vendors. This company called Ridley & Sons had been supplying us for about 2 years. Their sales rep Doug was solid, always on time, easy to work with. He asked if his boss could sit in because they wanted to pitch expanding the contract. I said sure. Day of the meeting, Doug walked into the conference room with his boss. It was my dad. He came in smiling with his hand out for a handshake. The second he saw me, the hand dropped and the smile was gone. Doug had no clue what was happening. He just pointed at me and said, "This is my boss. She handles all the vendor contracts for this region." My dad sat down and did not say a word for 5 minutes. Doug kept looking at him to jump in, and he just stared at the table. I ran the meeting like any other, asked about capacity, pricing, delivery windows, directed everything at Doug since my dad was not going to talk. Near the end, my dad finally spoke up and told Doug they could offer a longer deal at a better rate. He said it to Doug, not to me, like I was not the one deciding. After the meeting, Doug stepped out and my dad stayed behind. He said he had no idea I worked here. I said okay. He said I looked good, and he was happy I was doing well. I said thank you. Then he asked if we could grab coffee sometime and talk. I told him this was a professional setting, and I preferred to keep it that way. He nodded and left. 2 days later, he called my office directly. My assistant put him through because she did not know who he was. He opened with the contract, but within a minute he was asking about my mom, where I lived, if I was seeing anyone. I ended the call. A week later, Doug told me his boss wanted to personally take over our account. Said his boss thought a closer relationship would help them keep our business. I told Doug I preferred working with him and saw no reason to change. My dad then showed up at our office without an appointment. Told the front desk he needed